the idea behind this workshop would just kind of give you an overview of different networks and how they work and understanding your audience personas, and then to give you an update on kind of features that each network has. And we can discuss it as well. So these are kind of some of our favorite features that are available now, and there's going to be some where they're going to be available in the future. This is from one of the girls in the office. She loves this, but I think this is just from a creative point of view. So it's Twitter's GIF search. So a lot of people don't know that this feature exists. So it just adds a little bit of creativity to your tweets if you're using them. So So does anybody not know what a GIF is? Anybody not used a GIF before, or? So how to describe it? It's basically it's an image that is almost like it's a very, very short video, like literally a second or two, and it just, again, yeah. So it's just, it's an image that animates basically, but you can add these into your communications in Twitter, and I just think what we talk about a lot is kind of taking up that real estate on a page. So the more you can take up on that page, the more likely people are going to see your posts. There's a really interesting trick on LinkedIn we discovered by accident last week. If you upload an image on LinkedIn, it will take a certain amount of space on the page. If you upload the picture as a document, it takes up like the full screen. So that's what we started to do now, is just upload documents. So instead of an image, we upload a PDF document. It's all about, yeah, to save it as PDF, and then it's just a good example. And the same with GIFs as well on Twitter. So you could create an amazing tweet out to somebody, but if you had a GIF, it just adds that personality and that character, and it takes up more of a space.
Okay, is it easy to make, or are you just grabbing something that's already there?
Generally, you grab something that's already there, but you can make your own. I'd generally just stick to what it is. What you do is when you click on it, you can search for whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for somebody laughing, crying, someone who's elated, it depends on whatever the emotion is or what action you want that person to be doing. You can use it. So generally a search. You can do it on LinkedIn as well, in messages at the moment. You can't do it on the feed as much, but you can do it within the private messages as well. So even they're kind of coming around to this, that people have conversations just in GIFs. Yeah, so Twitter's got its own service that you can use. So you can just search for them, and there's Giphy as well, so you can create your own and upload your own, or you can search for other ones as well.
Rob, can you put your boomerangs in there?
Yeah, so you just create you create it as a GIF. I'd create it as a GIF and then put it into Twitter through that way. Yeah. It's basically the same. It's like a short video, very, very short video
for Instagram.
Instagram.
Right, do it in Insta. It's the button in Instagram.
Yeah, if you link it, you could link it back to Instagram. But if you want to do it as a tweet, then just save it you can just save it as a GIF. You can just convert it. I think going back to Twitter as well, it's not on here, but in terms of their search bar, it's really, really powerful, as I mentioned before. So in terms of journalists, directors, CEOs, and then obviously brands that you think your audience are following as well. It's always a good strategy to do that. So you could be, like I said before, it could be a magazine or a particular TV show that they're following, or another brand. It could be a competitor as well. If people are following your competitors, then they're going to be your target audience. So you can go on there, follow their followers, and then in the hope that they follow you back. So this one was around Stranger Things 3. So we use the hashtag, and then we use the GIF to add a bit of creativity to the tweet. Facebook's groups. So last year, Facebook kind of demoted business posts in a way. They said that they wanted people to use Facebook for Facebook and for personal reasons, and they give less weight now to business posts. So posts from businesses and business pages won't. They're not given as much weight as a personal post will, and that's why Facebook groups are so important. I think one of the reasons they did it as well is to push you more towards ads as well. Because if your post is as from a business is getting less visibility, then you're more likely to spend money through the ads because they do get instant visibility. If that makes sense. But Facebook groups are great in terms of finding your target audience. So we've got a client where we're targeting new mums. So we're going to the mums groups, the hell on earth, absolutely horrendous groups to be in, all sorts of nonsense in there, like when should I feed my child, and You know, I'm going on holiday. What do I need? It's like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, they're horrendous places to be. Don't go in the mums groups or mums net at all. But they're great in terms of like infiltrating. So you can go in, you can find out lots of research. You can start talking to people. You've got two options. You can post from a personal profile or you can post from your business page. Now, a lot of groups are kind of a bit picky in terms of businesses going into their groups and then just posting from their company, go buy this product, that sort of thing. So usually you'll find a question. A lot of groups have questions, so they'll say, "Why do you want to join this group? Are you a mum? Are you, what are you going to add to this group or the community?" That sort of thing. But they're great in terms of if you know your target audience, if you know what they're into. Generally, there will be a Facebook group out there. So you could do it from a personal profile and kind of infiltrate it that way, and just start engaging with people and building up trust. You can do that as kind of a long-term strategy. Or you could do it from your business page and just be honest with the group owner. And generally the group, depends on the group itself, but the group admins generally are okay. If you say to them, look, we are a company, we'd like to offer X, it's best to start that conversation with the group admin, because some will offer free posts, like one a month. So there's a couple of mums groups where they say, right, you can post once a month in the group for free. And it's kind of giving back. It's their way of kind of giving back to their community. And then there's obviously sponsored options as well. So you could go in a group and there could be a group of 10,000 people in there that are all your target audience. So you think, right, I've got to be in this group. So you speak to the admins and say, how much is it going to cost for me to advertise in this group? And it's just a negotiation. And 9 times out of 10, they will give you different options. Depends on, obviously, the bigger the group, the bigger the numbers, probably usually the bigger the cost, but everything's a negotiation. Or you can do it in a subtle way and just reply in comments, and you could be a little bit sneaky about it and just say, oh, I've seen this, and then here's a link to your company website if you wanted to. Another great way to use them is to create a group yourself. If you've got the time and the strategy behind getting people to join your group and to start engaging, that is one of the best ways. One of the best examples was Peloton, the training bikes. They've got an amazing Facebook group, and they sold so many bikes just through having a Facebook page. So what they did was they opened it up to people and they promoted it to people who were obviously interested in cycling and training and that sort of thing. And now it's just become a group of basically people promoting themselves and competitions and look how good I am, look how fast I can cycle, sort of thing. I've done this training regime, blah, blah, blah. And they've made so much from it. And what they do is they don't even advertise the bike. So there'll be people who go in the groups just to see what their friends are doing. And they might have seen someone else in the group, so they go in it and then they end up buying a bike because they've seen all these challenges and stuff like that. So it's a really interesting case study. So definitely look at creating your own Facebook group as well, if that is where your target audience is. In terms of Instagram highlights, is there anybody here that uses Instagram highlights at the moment? So this is one of our clients, the avocado company. So we just started working with them. So there's things called highlights. So you can have different categories. So on here we've got recipes, we've got health, kind of the CSR stuff, the fun stuff. Obviously it's all related to avocados, which is really fun. But it just allows you to show short pieces of information, lasts for 24 hours. People can go on there, and it's just something different within rather than just posting within the feed. They're very good in terms of creativity. They look great. They're fun to interact with. People can share them as well. So definitely worth looking into using Instagram highlights. Is there anybody who's thinking about using them? Or yeah.
Do they only last 24 hours, did you say?
Yeah.
But they still stay on the page, though, don't they? The highlights themselves.
Yeah, but within the actual feed. Yeah. Yeah. So you click through your highlight and then you can go through them. But actually, yeah, when you go on, it'll be 24 hours.
Yeah. Out of Instagram, how can you make those jazzy videos?
There's lots of different websites you can use. You can use like Canva or Adobe Spark.
You make videos in Canva?
Yeah, Canva's great. They've got their own Instagram template for stories.
On Instagram, I can use that.
Yeah.
In Canva.
Yeah, so if you go into Canva, they've got their own Instagram template for stories. Like you say, it's good for content that is kind of quick, so you can post something out quickly rather than spending time on the actual feed, the post in the actual feed. Again, this is moving over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my favourite search social network at the moment. The search bar is so great. It's just amazing. I love it, and there's so many things you can do that people don't understand. One of the best things to do is literally search for what people are asking for. So if you're a lawyer, for example, you can literally search for recommend lawyer, and you can find people who are talking about that particular piece of content. So what we do is we use it to search for. I'm giving away all the tips and tricks here. So you can use it to search for recommend social media agency, and then it will show me all the people that I've mentioned. Can anyone recommend a social media agency, or can anyone recommend this? And what you want to do is just test the words to see what content comes up, but it will show you every single piece of content that's available on LinkedIn, and you can search by, you can sort by date as well, so the most relevant. So then we'll go through and then we'll connect with everybody.
Where are you inputting that?
So on this is a desktop, LinkedIn desktop. So literally at the top bar, and it's the same for mobile as well. And then you can search. What you basically do is when you click on there, it'll generally give you people and company pages. If you click on content, then it'll show you just content. So it could be anything, but it's worth searching for just to see if people actually are producing that content and asking people. Generally, questions related are pretty good. A lot of users on LinkedIn asking questions and asking for recommendations. And if you can be the first one on there to kind of respond, then you're more likely to kind of win that work. It works obviously more for B2B. So yeah, think about what kind of the questions people will be asking if they were going to be recommended to your service or a particular pain point. Put it in and then search it. But it's also great for searching for company pages, for people, your audience, and then groups as well. There's lots of groups on LinkedIn, so using those as well. And then obviously, we've spoken about Snapchat before, but creating your own filters as well, and then obviously using the ring fencing as well, so different locations. Theirs is great because it's generally for events. Obviously, certain areas, if you want to do it on Oxford Street in London, it's going to cost you a lot of money because it goes off footfall and how many people are around that in that particular time. So just going to go through some kind of social media coming soon. Twitter, if you're using Twitter. So does anybody use Twitter lists? A lot of people don't know this exists as well. So basically, in Twitter, you can create lists of different people. You can make them public or you can make them private. If you make them public, it's a really good way of letting people know that you've added them to a list. So it's a good way of kind of giving them a nudge. If you want a private one, it's just because you're stalking them and you don't want them to know that they're in that list. Or it could be competitors, for example. But a public one is a good way to say, I've added this person. So it could be, if you're looking for a particular journalist, and you might put health journalists into a list, and you create that list, and then you start adding health journalists in, they will then get a notification to say they've been added to that list. So then they'll think, oh, who's this person? And then the idea is then they get in touch. But when you click on your list, it'll only give you the content from those people, which can be great in terms of if you've got different audience personas, or you want to see different pieces of content from different people. So what Twitter is going to do, and these are all not available yet, what they're going to do is they're going to create a timeline where you can just swipe through different lists. So rather than having to click on lists and then go into different ones, you can literally just swipe through health, sport, whatever you want, and you build that timeline, so it's like a customized timeline of people. Really, really interesting. As you mentioned before, Facebook's Libra. So this will be cryptocurrency run by Facebook. So it'll allow you to do things and allow you to send money with basically almost zero fees. It'll also allow you to buy through Messenger, through Facebook, and other umbrella brands as well, and obviously through Instagram as well. This will be its own currency, so it'll be very, very interesting.
Or is it just like money exchange?
So you buy, it's like Bitcoin, so you would buy Libra currency for whatever the cost. So you buy £100 worth of Libra currency, and then you could use that currency online, and you can go to like local shops. The idea is you can go to a local shop and convert it back. So if someone sent you £100 in Libra, you could go to a shop and you could get it out. Yeah, that's the vision anyway. It's the same in China. So that China's got WeChat, so you can't use Facebook in China. WeChat does everything, and you buy everything. They've literally just got one social network, and everything is run through that. And Facebook's trying to do the same thing, but we're keeping an eye on it because it could be huge. Yeah, Instagram direct shopping is the next one. So obviously at the moment, if you you can tag products on Instagram, so you can tag your products, and then people can go through to your website. But what they want to do is they want to introduce direct shopping, so you never ever leave Instagram when you buy a product. So Adidas, Nike, Zara, there's about 20 brands in the US that are testing it. So you'll just have a checkout on Instagram label, and then you just click on it, and then literally you go through, and you never ever leave the app, and then you just purchase through that, and then one day with your Libra, or your Libra monies. I think what the problem is you get a great experience from Instagram because they've invested so much in their, user design. But once you click through to a website, Instagram doesn't know how good that website is. They want to keep people on that journey. You could go to a website and it's awful, and you get an awful experience, and you come off and you don't buy. It's better for Instagram if you just buy through theirs and then they just take the money. It does make sense. So Instagram is also testing removing likes as well. So you can still like something, but people won't be able to see how many people have liked it, which will be a huge change in influencer marketing. So that's one they are testing it to see whether it would be useful or not. I don't know whether it was just a PR thing because of the whole, the problems they have with some of the content, suicidal content. A lot of brands go off the number of followers they have, and obviously, their engagement rate does play a factor. Obviously, the thing to look at is how many people actually went through and actually bought that product. It would be a huge one for influencers because then you wouldn't be able to see how popular their posts were. But the interesting thing is, the way they test it at the moment is if you post something out, you could see how many likes you got, but other users couldn't. Okay. So the influencers could still say to brands, well, I got this many likes on this post. But the problem is, a lot of people like it because a lot of other people have liked it, and they just jump on them, and then that's how they get ranked. But they are testing, to see whether it would be useful and whether it would change. They say that they want to create better conversations and better engagement rather than just fake likes.
You can buy likes.
Well, you can buy them, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do. You'll see it. It's so easy to see. So someone will have 10,000 followers on Instagram, but then they'll have like 5 likes on the picture, which means they're all just fake followers. But then you can buy likes as well. So yeah, that will be really interesting to see whether it gets introduced or not. For influencers, it could be huge, in a negative way. But then you might get better quality content from influencers and actually get people influence people and not just post pictures out and buy likes. LinkedIn live video. Has anyone seen any live videos on LinkedIn? Nobody. Yeah. Yeah. So they're going down the video route as well. Obviously, Microsoft bought Skype a long time ago, and then they also bought LinkedIn. It's been tested by US and Canadian users. The plan is to have, the interesting thing with LinkedIn is like any video on social media, if you don't have closed captions, a lot of people don't listen to them because they're either on the tube or the bus or wherever they may be, and they don't want to listen to a live piece of content. So if you're doing videos, then try and use closed captions. People are more likely to engage with it and listen to it. There's one trick to do it, is you upload the video to YouTube. YouTube does it automatically. Then you might need to edit it a little bit, because it doesn't get every word, depending on the accent. And then you can just download that video with the captions. You can do that. There's loads of apps as well.
Subtitles that will run
Yeah. You'll see engagement rates increase because people can actually listen to it while they're at work or while they're on the bus or whatever. So LinkedIn is testing live video. You'll probably see a lot of US and Canadian users using it. I've seen a handful of people in the UK have got it, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be huge in terms of conferences and events, product launches, that sort of thing. Our plan is just to run friends repeats on LinkedIn on repeat, because rather than having like a conference or an event, we thought we might as well give LinkedIn users something fun to watch on the lunch. So we'll see. South Park, yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll take requests, I think, yeah. So we're going to see what we can do. But they are great, and you can comment live as well. So when it's just like a normal streaming video. But yeah, it's a huge one for LinkedIn. Definitely one to look out for in terms of live video. This was quite an interesting one for Snapchat, the landmarkers. So the change in the way that people see landmarks. So the idea is for more people to go and travel and to use obviously Snapchat to create a more fun environment. So you can see the different examples. Buckingham Palace. Yeah, Snapchat's a huge advocate of it, So you want people to have that kind of FOMO, that fear of missing out effect, encourage more people to travel and experience different landmarks. And you can do it with so many different things, like you were saying before, you can do it with different brands. But yeah, the landmarkers one is pretty cool, pretty neat little feature. So basically that should give you kind of a basic social strategy and just give you something to go off. And last kind of thing I want to leave you with is just this from the Pursuit of Happiness. Just if you want something, go and get it, kind of period sort of thing. So don't be afraid to use social. It's not going to bite your hand. But to go out there and use it and make the most of it.